Hey everybody, I was so excited to come on. I was ready like a half an hour ago, and so I was threading my serger and I was just testing it so I would have it ready to go, and I jammed it. So I started to take the thing off and the other thing and this and that and the other thing, and then I looked at the time and it was already 3 after, so I apologize. I'm late today. But I'm super excited to be here because I've achieved what I love for a fit. I'm so excited about the top of this dress, and I'm going to talk about a few things I did that were not good, and I had to fix them. You know how you say sometimes more is more is better? Well, sometimes less is more. I'm going to talk to you about that. I'm going to show you some things I did. And then you're going to help me decide what to do about my skirt. Because my bust is so long from hey Diane, hey Mary, hey Janie, hey Patrick, hey Barbara, welcome. I'm sorry I was running a little bit late. I got distracted. My serger is jammed up, but I almost fixed it. And then I realized I was late coming on, so I have to finish fixing it, but I'll show you. But the bottom line is, because I'm so long from here to here, I needed a lot of fabric to create these pieces. And I cut them out of the original lining and the original dress fabric. And I only have this much left. Well, I can't really show you that way. I'll show you. I'll show you. But anyway, so the bottom line is this is too short for me. It'll go down to my knee, but I really need it to be longer. So I have two choices. It's very exciting. I have black and I have white linen that I can use to extend this, but I don't know. I'm just not sure how a solid black or white would look sewn onto this to make it longer. So you're going to help me. So we're going to get to that in a minute. Hey Tana, hey Sue from Iowa, welcome. So let me just show you this here. This is why I was late today coming on. Okay, so I was like all excited. I threaded my serger in white, and then I ended up with this big jam here, and you can see it's a big honking mess. It's actually stuck in here. So let me just finish taking this apart so when I want to use the serger I'll be able to. I think I had gotten it mostly you know, but it's like stuck on the stitch finger, and I tried to retract the stitch finger. Maybe if I put it all right, well, wait a minute. Let me see here. You can see I made a big honking mess of this. Hey, Mary. Oh, Mary's saying, finish it with that fabric and make the skirt black to wear with it. I don't know. I'll show you in a minute. Hold on one second. I just want to see if I can fix this. I'm going to need this to sew, and I don't understand how I got it so jammed up so quickly. I'm wondering if I took the plate off. Maybe I didn't put the plate back on properly. It seems to be getting stuck on the stitch finger. So if you guys have an ovation, here's a mini tutorial for you. To get the plate off, what you need to do is you need to use, I use a short stubby Phillips screwdriver here. So I lefty loosen it like this. And I clamped it down pretty hard when I put it back on the first time, but I think maybe something happened. But anyway, so let me just loosen that a little bit. Maybe that will, well, let me just, all right, let me just unscrew this. I'm using my finger to hold it against the screw, and then I'm using my other hand to turn it. Okay, so the screw's out. Now this little guy right here, this is a flat, it looks like a stud, but basically to get that out, what you do is you use your screwdriver for your needles and you put it in this little hole right here in the front, and you lefty loosen it, and then it pops up. And actually doing that allowed me to get all this off. So let me just get this nasty off here. I mean, this literally happened 2 seconds before I was going to come on. So anyway, all right. So now I've cleared that little issue up. And let me see if my stitch finger is working. I'm going to put it back down. Then I'm going to tighten this. I'm going to righty tighten this back down. Okay, so that's down. And then I can put this screw back in. So now I think we're good. But anyway, so this is so funny. I taught a troubleshooting serger class yesterday for pattern review, and I didn't have any of these problems during class. I wish I had, because it would have been better to show them. All right, so now we're okay. I'm good. I can worry about the rest of that later. Oh, Patrick says, wow, I didn't know that. Did you forget to lower the presser foot? No, I think when I took it down, I think something was screwed up with the stitch finger. But you can see now it's working. See how it's moving back and forth? Now you can see it wiggling there, right here. So whatever, I think that's fixed now. So now I'm just gonna shut that off for now. We don't need this right now. But this is my reason why I was late. Now what did I do with the presser foot? Oh, let me put the presser foot back on. That's not the presser foot. All right, I lost the presser foot. Here it is. Let me just put that back on so I don't lose it. And then I'm gonna show you some things about this bodice. Okay, I'm just gonna move this out of the way for right now. Let's put it right there for right now. Okay, so now let's look at, hey Kathy, welcome, welcome. All right, let me just move this up a little bit and down a little bit like this so I have more real estate to show you some things. All right, so let's first take a close look at this bodice on here. Now, my happy dance is when I say to you, this fits me exactly the way it fits on Dottie. That's how close my ditto form is. It's amazing. So it's really saved me a lot of running back and forth to look in the mirror. I have tried it on a few times to make sure, but my bra straps are covered. Everything's working. In the back, instead of doing the pleats here, I ended up making this a separate center back piece. So I think you can see the seams taper down like this. And when I was doing this and changing it from pleats to two separate pieces, I didn't double check to make sure it fit me right. So what I ended up having to do after I put this band on, and I'm going to talk about this band in a minute. This was the original band from the dress that was under the bodice before I took it apart. But I ended up having to take off an inch like this on both sides. It was too wide across my back. When you're fitting something like a wrapped front bodice, there's a few things you have to consider. So what I did was I measured myself from side seam to side seam. It's 22 inches. Okay. So I made the side seam to the side seam 23 inches. So I have an inch of ease across here because I don't want it squishing me. But I want it to fit kind of close. And I did the same thing in the back. So I have 1 inch of ease in the back, 1 inch of ease in the front. And that's why I had to take off 2 inches, one on each side of that center panel, because it was just too wide. So I did that. The other thing I did, which, you know, I'm so used to these style bodices not fitting me right, when it comes to, you know, going under my bust, that I added an extra inch seam allowance. The seam allowance I've gotten drawn in here, that's an extra 1/2 inch. And actually that ended up to be too much. So what happened was when I put the band on and tried it on, I had a glob of fabric, too much vertical length here and too much vertical length here. So now that you can see how it fits, I'm going to take it off and I'm going to show you the inside. And that's partly why I was changing my serger to white, because I'm going to have to reserge the bottom edge. But let me just show you what's happening here. And then I can show you a trick that I do sometimes to make sure that my lining doesn't show when I do the strap. So let me show you this now. Okay. All right, so I want to make sure you can see what I'm showing you here. Oh, I think that's a little bit too bright. Let's make that a little less bright. There, I think that's better. And then let me make it a little bit bigger so you can see. And I think I'm going to move myself over here. Okay, so you can see here what I had to do was I took the band off and I pulled down the cups. So see right here, I pulled the 1/2 inch out here through the gathered section on both sides. And I also pulled down the edge of, this is the wrapped front. And to get it to fit a little bit closer to my body, I pulled it down an extra like 3/8 of an inch here too. And I did do that on both sides. Okay, so I pulled it down a little bit here and a little bit here. And now I'm happy with the way that fits, but now you can see I've got a mess here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reserge all that before I put the lining on. But basically, I want to talk about this now. This was the original band, and it did not fit me exactly. And of course, now I'm looking for my scrap. Hold on, I still have a scrap of this dress I want to show you. What did I do with it? I've got so much going on in this room that... What did I do with... Oh my God, if I can't find it, I am going to be really, really, really annoyed. Just checking in my garbage. Make sure I didn't throw it away. Oh, this is, I can use this. I think. No. Oh my God, I cannot believe it. All right, I'm going to use this little scrap to show you. So basically, the bodice, oh my God, this blows my mind that I lost that. I'm so sorry. Wait a minute. Is it here? Hold on. What did I do with it? That is crazy that I lost it. Okay, so what I'm looking for is the original cups or bodice pieces from the original dress, and for some reason they have completely disappeared. I have no idea where they are, so I'm not going to look anymore. I'm just going to show you this little scrap because this will allow me to show you. I think it's very small, but basically, see this? This is a very short piece of the strap that was attached to the back of the dress right here. And so what I had to do was I had to cut a piece of the strap off, cut it, and then I had to add it to the band because the band was too short. So you can see right here I did a diagonal or a bias seam to lengthen my strap. So this is the strap actually. So if you look at this, let me make it a little bit lighter. You can see this is how it was when I took it off. Okay, so it's a French fold, which means when you sew it on and then press it up, that little ridge of French fold shows. So I'm glad I took that apart, and that's what you see down here. Okay, but I had to make it longer, so I added a little piece over here. And you can see the print is going in the wrong direction. Here it's vertical. And then over here, for just like a couple inches in the front and back where the zipper is going to go, it's going horizontally because that's how they cut the straps out. So I was able to salvage some of that to make my band long enough to go around. And you can see over here too, I've got the same thing. All right, so that's how I finished that. So I'm very happy with the top. And I mentioned in the, in the description of today's video, I am not happy with, I am not happy with my skirt options. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, first I'm just going to show you the original skirt right here. Okay, so this is what I have left for skirt. And you can see it's very short. I literally have, if I measure this, it is only 30, 40, 50, 27 inches long. And that is just not long enough. Now here is another wrinkle in the issue. It's hard to see on the screen, but this wide border print, I mean, it looks black, but sometimes I guess it is black, but I almost feel like I want to cut this off because I feel like this is too busy. So if I go from this to this to this, let's say I wanted to do black like this. I mean, I could go from white to black. I could do that, or I could go from the print. I also have this very nice linen that's white. I could go from white, but I don't want to do it through this border print. So like if I flip it this way to get rid of the border print from now, I'm wondering if it's almost like this white is too stark. It's much whiter than this. This is more of a, I don't know, it's got something in it. It's not bright white. It's like I want to say almost like an oyster white. So I feel like this is too shocking. So my guess is my go-to is going to be to do this. Right? I could go from here to here, or I could just make the entire skirt black because I have plenty of black. So I need you guys to help me decide because I'm not sure what to do. So I think what I'm going to do is, I know I'm not going to use this part here. I know I'm not. So I'm going to cut that off right now because I know I'm not going to use it. I don't like it. And I think it breaks up what's going on too much, especially if I add another color. So this will give me an opportunity to use my big fancy Kai scissors. I'm literally going to I'm just going to cut straight up like this. And then I'm just going to trim it like right along the top edge of the fringy kind of, and I'll straighten it out. But basically, this has to go because this is annoying me. I hope nobody's freaking out. Let me stop and see what people are saying. Tana says, how about making the skirt with the tier of print white and maybe gray? The black French fold could be used between the tiers. I could do that. The black is much better. Janie's voting for black. And Kathy says, how many more inches of length do you need? Take the original bodice band off and make it wider black and add your length. Yeah, you know what? I could make it a little longer, but I really want it, I don't know. I feel like I've already thought to myself that I want it to be more like its original length. I think it'll be prettier if it's more maxi length. So my guess is, I think what I'm going to end up doing is making the skirt black. I think that's what's going to happen. But I don't know for sure. I don't want to commit. I'm going to pin it on so we can decide. so you can see it like, you know, 3D here. So let me just finish cutting this off because I definitely know this has got to go. I don't like this. I'm not a big border print fan anyway, so I'm not surprised that I don't like this part. Julie is saying, how would a narrow insert band look and keep the border? Well, I can't keep the border now because I've already cut it. So let me just finish cutting it off here. I don't like this border. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. If it were a maxi dress, oh, you know what? What if I kept the border but sewed it onto a black skirt? That's another idea. That could work. All right, let's think about that. All right, so first of all, maybe this could still be the bottom of the dress, but maybe I could do black all the way down and then end up with this at the hem. And I think having it at the hem might be a little less noticeable. You know, I would do it so it hit the white, some white in between like this, so it would have that at the bottom. I could do that, maybe. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna switch my view back to this view. I'm gonna get this out of my face. All right, so let's get this girl so you can see it a little bit. Oh, of course. All right, so let me just pick up this book. I'm just gonna move this stuff out of the way here. Ugh. All right, so you're gonna see a little bit of my messy floor, but let me see if I can put my dress transform over here. Okay. All right, and then I can put it down like this so you can see. All right, so what if we did... So the first option is, what if I took this, I'm just gonna put it like this, you know, and obviously it's gonna be a little bit fuller because I will make it a little bit gathered at center front and a little bit gathered at center back. But for now, I'm just gonna clip this on like this. All right, so I've got that clipped on. I'm gonna pin this shut so it's like kind of fitting the way it should fit. Let me get this back on here right like this. I mean, I don't know. I think I was just surprised at the amount of vertical length I needed to make my new bodice. In my head, I wasn't gonna need that much, but basically, let me just pin that shut. Okay, so I could do this. So that's how it would look, you know, from here to here. So I could just make it a black skirt, or I could tie it back in and I could put this at the hem down here. Let me put it up a little bit higher just so you can see. I mean, I would make this maxi length, obviously, but let me just put a few pins. Oops. All right, I'm sitting on the floor. All right, let me just I'm just going to pin it on a little bit here just so you can kind of see what it would look like if I have this here. I mean, it would tie what's going back in at the top, although I don't know if I love it. But you guys can tell me what you think. I'm almost thinking just leave it black. You know, Mary knows black's my favorite color, but basically if I just pin it around, I just want to give you like the idea of it. You know, so it would be a little bit gathered. It wouldn't be hanging straight like this, but just so you can see, you know, what it would look like. All right, so I've got it pinned on. All right. You'll have to tell me what you think. I mean, I do know having a border print at the hem makes people look shorter, but I don't have that problem because I'm pretty tall. So that's how it's going to look. I'm going to see if I can, let me see if I can get a little bit of a better view going on here. So say it would be like this, and then it would be like that. Like this, or like that. Or I could just have it be all, I could have it be all black. Oh, Diane says that's what you suggested. The black is a bit sheer. Well, there is a lining, so I am going to put the lining back underneath it. So it will be lined. Oh, Tana says, watching you fumble around in chaos echoes my typical project. I am blown away that I can't find the little bodice piece. I had it put aside to show you because I wanted to show you how I cut the strap, because the strap had the French fold on both sides. So when I cut it, I had to take off one side of the French fold. Then I had to take the little trim off, and I had to even it up with the edge so it was the same width. So I had to do a little bit of construction to that strap to get it to match the band. Yeah, so if I'm going to bother lengthening the skirt, I'm just going to make it back into a maxi dress. So oh, okay, so hold on here. So let me just see. What about running the border vertically like a wrap? Yes, or I'll show you that. I'll pin it on like that. But I think Vicky is wondering if I could try this on the bottom of the skirt. Like maybe this instead of that border would look better down there. But first, let's try. All right, I'm going to unpin it. Let me just unpin, pin. All right, so I could also I guess I could also, I think you were talking about doing it something like this. Like have it be vertical. Let's see. So if it's vertical, it would do something like that. So we would have like this to like that. All right, so all right, whoever suggested, my 2 cents would be to keep it all black, look chicer. Oh, Kathy likes all black as well. All right, so I'm leaning towards all black myself because, you know, I'm a plain Jane. The one thing I'm worried about, though, is I'm going to look like a pencil on an apple on a stick, though, because this is going to look big on me. And the black is going to look small on me. So the proportion might make me look really, really busty. But Mary is also wondering about if I'm going to have room to walk. Mary, I'm going to gather up. I'm going to put some gathers at center front at the waist. I'm going to put some gathers at center back. So it will be fuller. I'm going to use the full width. Okay, so this is the full width of the skirt, the original skirt. I'm going to keep the full width because I liked it slightly gathered to make it a little bit fuller. So it will be fuller than this. I just wrapped it around and pinned it so I could show you. I don't think I like the vertical, although it was a good idea to try it though. It doesn't look busty on the form. No, I know, but see, this is why I always wear black. because I feel like black makes me look minimal on top. So the fact that that's white with a little black print is already freaking me out, to be honest with you. And then when I saw how big my pattern piece was, I was like, oh my God. All right, so I don't like this. Let's just try one last thing. I'm gonna, oh, and this will be easy. I'll just put this over the top like this, and I will, oh, we can try a few things. I could put this like this, and I could make it a two-tone, so it's almost like it would be white on top and then black, which I don't think I'm loving, but this could be an option. Like that. I could do that. Or I could put this let me just pin this black back up so it doesn't fall. I could put this down here and it could be a border. So I could have it be down here and it could just be a border down there like that. But not as, you know, obviously not as wide. Let me put a couple pins in it so it stays. So it could be, but I don't know. I don't think I like that either. I think I'm just going to make it all black. Would anyone be offended if I made it all black? White, black border. Yeah, I don't, well, I guess I could do all that striping, but I don't think I want, I want to wear this to Easter, so I want to keep it sort of simple. Mary says, you are just being self-conscious about your bust area. Having spent time with you in person, you notice it more than people looking at you. Oh, well, thank you. I know. I just, you know, it's one of those things where I'm always trying to minimize it. You know, I don't like my cleavage showing. And happily, only a tiny bit of cleavage shows, like a little dent, just a little bit. So, and it does stay closed and it doesn't gape away from me. So I'm happy with the way the top fits. That's why I want to make it into a dress. You know, I want to make it into a dress and then, you know, wear it. So I think, I don't know. I think I'm just going to go all black because I'm a plain Jane. Black, white, black border. White, black border. I mean, that would be pretty stripey. I don't know. Well, that would make it look bigger too. So like if I did, let's say I just did, I'm going to make this half as wide, like this. So what if I just did a little white, like this? I'm just going to make it, just going to use my big clips to hold it there. So I could do that, you know, and then I could do a little black, and then I could do, you know, I could do the border, you know, so I could do two sets of this. So I could do this, I could do some black, and I could do another one of these, and I could do another black, and then have this at the bottom. I suppose I could do that. A lot of work, but what if you embroidered little black design of the bodice randomly in white on the black skirt? You know what, Kathy, I was thinking that I could digitize the shape of that. I mean, but if I was going to do that, I don't know. I could also embroider it in black on my white fabric. So that, I mean, that's an option too. I was thinking about that. I could make these little designs and just embroider them all over the skirt. I could do that. But I think I'm going to go with black skirt for economy of time. But remember, I have this, I could always embroider those designs after the fact, because the skirt will be loose enough that I can get it into my machine. I have a Brother PRS 100, which has a free arm, so I can very easily embroider it after the fact. So I think ding, 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 that's going to be the winner. I'm going to do all black skirt, and then after Easter, I will embroider white of these. And let me just show you up close what they look like. And actually, I probably could embroider a set of them and then just keep rehooping. So I could use my 8-inch hoop. Let's see what this looks like. See, this is why I'm so happy you guys join me and help me figure things out, because sometimes I don't want to figure them out myself. And actually, I have a Viking Designer Diamond embroidery machine, which has a 14-inch hoop. So let me just show you here. If I do it on here, let's look at this. I'm going to put my table thing back on. All right, so this is a really good solution because I can have this ready for Easter as it is, just black and white like this. And then I can add the embroidery on after. So let me just show you this. So I'm going to take this stabilizer out of here. All right, so this is my hoop. So you can see, like, I could fit maybe 3. Maybe I could do it a couple different arrangements where, like, I could do 1, 2, 3 there, and then I can do a different hooping where I have, look, I have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can digitize one of these and then put them in the hoop in random spacing. And then if I want to get really fancy, I can just do some straight stitch. I don't want to digitize these rub marks. I'm not doing that. But I could just do some straight stitch, you know, straight stitch, straight stitch, straight stitch, straight stitch, straight stitch, straight stitch. I could totally do that. And then, and I'll do it in white, and then I'll have the reverse, and I think that that could be very cool. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go with that because I always want to add more embroidery into my life because I love doing embroidery. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to digitize this little duty, this little guy right here. It looks like I don't even know what that looks like, but you can see that's pretty easy to digitize. Then I'll hoop them up in sets of 3 and 4, and then, like I said, I can take white thread and literally just stitch straight in clusters. You know, and I don't have to decide that all at once. Part of the cool thing about when you're designing something and you're embroidering is you can layer things on, and you can decide after the fact if you actually want to do it. So I'll start with these in white on the black fabric, and then once I see how that looks, I can decide if I want to also add some of this in. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Oh, that's a good idea, Mary. I could digitize the design, print out multiple copies, and pin them onto the skirt before embroidering them to make sure I like them. That's a good idea. When I used to do my big, you know, I did the Bernina Wearable Arts Fashion Show 5 years in a row. And each time I did that, I created a life-size template of the overall design. So I printed out all the embroideries and I made a massive life-size plan for how I was going to embroider. So I think that's a really good idea. Oh, Kathy's saying then you could add some subtle rhinestone bling into the center of the designs. Woo! So Patrick is asking, would you show that as a class? You mean on Friday? You mean show how I'm going to do it? Well, absolutely. I will definitely. So here is my plan. It's Friday. Easter is on Sunday. I have tomorrow, plus I have to do some cooking for Easter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this dress. My zipper's white though, but I think it'll be okay. I'll show you the zipper. I salvaged the zipper from the original dress, but I might have to switch to black now because, you know, I don't want the white to show. It's an invisible zipper. But basically, I have to get the skirt sewn on so I can finish the zipper. So I need to do that first. So I need to do all of that, and I want to take my time and do a nice job because, you know, I spent more time working on this bodice than I can even begin to tell you. I spent like 2 full days working on this. And I don't want to wreck it now. So that's why I'm really happy that you guys came on, and I feel happy with this black linen choice. I'm going to run the black through the washing machine one more time. I think it already has been washed, but just in case, I'm going to wash it one more time. And then I'm going to finish the dress. Then what I can do is next Friday, that'll be a fun activity. I can start embroidering, and then I can show you the process of embroidering. And maybe what I'll do is during the week when I'm working on digitizing the design, maybe I can figure out how to record my screen and I can show you how I digitize the design. Because that's fun. I mean, my Facebook group is J Stern Designs Fit Sew Embroider. I almost never get to the embroidery part, and embroidery is one of my favorite things to do. So I think I definitely will be sharing this with you next Friday. So here's the plan. I'm going to finish the dress with the black skirt. Then I'm going to work on the design, and then during the week I'll test it with some I'll make some templates of the design. I'll pin them on, and then I will show you how that's going, and I'll show you the process and, you know, show you what I'm doing next week. And Mary just took her hot cross buns out of the oven. Well, my oven is broken, so my husband tried to fix it, and the heating elements he purchased did not fix the situation. So I think what we're going to do is we found a bunch of our model oven, which is old already, for a couple $100. So I think we're going to buy a used oven, and then he'll have those new parts if they break in the oven we're going to get, because whatever. So I'm off the hook for baking bread or baking anything that requires a constant temperature. I've gotten really creative about baking things in my gas grill or baking things in my Ninja Foodie. Well, I don't have a oven. So one other exciting thing that happened this week, one of my YouTube subscribers emailed me and asked me if I wanted her drafting books, because she wasn't going to use them anymore, and she said she got more out of my channel than she's gotten out of any of the drafting books. So you can see behind me there, all those books. She sent all those books to me, and I can't even begin to tell you, I felt like a kid on Christmas. So I have the Connie Crawford drafting book. I have a new copy of the Helen Joseph Armstrong book, which I'm super excited about because mine was in a 3D ring binder and I've lost pages. Pages are ripping. So the version that she sent me is a spiral bound version, which is really nice. And then there's a bunch of different drafting books I've never seen before or I don't own. So I'm really excited about that. So Kathy, if you're watching, thank you for sending those to me. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, so you may see some of them in upcoming Cool Tools, because I always love to review a book, you know, when I'm during a Cool Tool. So, oh, hi, Diane. It's been a while since you've tuned in. Well, what we did today was we decided to create a black skirt for this top that I made from a dress that I bought at Ann Taylor, there wasn't enough fabric for me to make. I thought I was going to be able to make a knee-length skirt, and it ended up being a little bit too short. So I'm going to go with black linen instead to finish that off. So that's what we did today. You missed a lot of me. Well, as Tana put it, the chaos of trying to find stuff and show you things today, because I still don't see or have any idea where the original bodice went. I was going to show you some stuff with that, but in any case, the other piece that I thought I was going to use at the center back, this is a shorted piece that was in the center back of the original dress. I was really trying to figure out how to use this, and I just couldn't make that work. So I'm not doing that. Okay, so Sonia is asking about making it into a blouse. So here's the thing about this. I feel like this bodice needs the weight of the fabric. This is another reason why I want the fabric to go down to the floor, because I feel like if I just cut a short linen, you know, for like, let's say a lower bodice piece for a blouse, I feel like it will be extremely puffy because it's going to be gathered around the waist a little bit. So I don't want to make this a blouse because I just feel like it would be really, I think the fabric lends itself more to being longer and having some weight so it hangs nicely versus it being very short and floaty. And I feel like on me, that would just make me look huge. So that's why I'm not making it into a blouse. All right, so this was super fun. Let me see, did I answer everybody? I am kind of excited about embroidering the white designs on there. So I am excited about that. So that's my report. So I will share pictures of me modeling the dress. Maybe I can get one of my family members to take a picture of me on Easter wearing the dress. So you'll see it like it is, just with a black skirt. And then I'm going to start putting white on it, I think. Oh, Mary says like the old maternity tops. I know. Oh my God. I just, you know, I mean, I have a big tummy too. So, you know, I want to camouflage that a little bit. So I'm going to go with the maxi length black skirt. All of this fabric is now something I'll have to think of something else to do with it. But you know, I'm really glad I bought this dress for $20 at Ann Taylor before the pandemic. So I feel like I'm making good use of it, even though I'm not using the rest of this like I thought I was. But in any case, I want to thank everybody for joining me today. If you celebrate Passover, I hope you, you know, happy Passover. I know that, you know, we celebrated my in-laws, or my ex-in-laws celebrate that. And so that's fun. And then, you know, if you're celebrating Easter and, you know, Good Friday and all of those things, happy Easter. And it's, you know, it's going to be a fun weekend. I'm excited. It's nice to have like a little holiday to look forward to. So anyway, and this is actually the first time I will have a new dress to wear to Easter. So I'm super excited about that. So there you go. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me. I'm going to get off so I can continue to work on this. I'm going to wash the fabric one more time. I'm going to tidy everything up. I'm going to sew the skirt on. I'm going to do the zipper. Oh, the one thing I wanted to show you, the zipper. Let me just show you this really quick before we go. If you're ever repurposing or taking things apart to use, always look at the things like the zipper, because this zipper, I'm going to zoom in really close so you can see. And I think you can see if I have it up against the table, you can see the print of my grid through this twill tape. It's a very lightweight nylon twill tape. So this zipper is actually perfect for lightweight fabrics like linen. So that's why I took the time to save this zipper from the dress. So if you're ever recycling things or repurposing things, always look at the details like zippers and buttons, because it can be a treasure trove. So even if I don't use this zipper for this dress, because now I think I'm going to need a black zipper because of the black skirt fabric, I will save it and use it for something else. So that's the other thing I wanted to share with you, was this very lightweight zipper. All right. All right. So, oh, God bless you too, Diane. And thank you, Patrick, for joining. Yeah, so I'm excited. And the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm liking it. So I think that's going to work out. And I'm really excited about embroidering the white. So Kathy, thank you for suggesting that. All right. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you next week. I will have a Fit Tip Tuesday. I will have a cool tool. Maybe it'll be one of the books from my new collection that's back there. And yeah, so I'm excited. So have a nice weekend. Happy Easter. Happy Passover. And thank you for watching, because I really appreciate it. All right, I'm going to sign off now. Bye-bye.